Good morning, team.
Morning.
Morning.
Thank you all for joining this meeting for today. So, as we all know, the incident of pollution at Sungai Kim Kim Johor has been shocking to us. So, the government has requested us to conduct an environmental monitoring focusing on the incident. So, first, I am going to give you all our objectives for today. So, first, we are going to introduce the problem, and next, we are going to discuss how analytical chemistry can be applied on this incident, and then we are going to assign tasks for each of you. So, first, I am going to ask each of you about the incident. So, can someone briefly explain what happened during the Sungai Kim Kim incident and why was it considered such a serious environmental case?
Can I?
Yes.
So for this Sungai Kim Kim incident that happened at Pasir Kudang, Johor, it happened in March 2019 because of the illegal dumping of chemical waste. So the toxic waste have been released, which is the volatile organic compound type and other hazardous substance into the air and water, which is leading to the mass poisoning. Over 4,000 people, mostly the school children, have been experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, nausea, and fainting.
Okay, thank you, Amalin, for your explanation. So next question is, what pollutants were involved in this case and which one should we focus on and why those specifically? Can anyone tell me?
So I would like to say about this matter. Since the incident just happened, many people in the area, like Amalin said, are already showing symptoms like breathing problems, eye irritation, headaches, and nausea. So these signs point to exposure to toxic gases and volatile organic compounds, especially hydrogen sulfide, benzene, and toluene, which are known to cause these kinds of acute health effects.
Okay, thank you, Dia Shofia. Okay, next question is, if we were monitoring this incident ourselves, what types of sample would we collect and which do you think are most relevant here? Can anyone answer that?
Yeah, sure. So we would most likely to collect samples to detect VOCs, which cause respiratory symptoms. And next, we would collect water samples since the dumping occur directly into the river, and optionally soil samples along the riverbank in case of chemical absorption. But for the simulation, air and water samples are the most relevant because we know that they directly affected human health and are most accessible for chemical analysis using our lab-based techniques.
Okay, thank you so much, Ifatu Iza, for your opinion. And the last question is, what analytical techniques would be suitable for each sample type? Can someone answer that?
I can answer that question. So
Okay.
for air samples, we can use gas chromatography as it is ideal for identifying and quantifying volatile organic compounds. And then for water samples, we can use atomic absorption spectroscopy as it can detect the heavy metals that is present in the water samples. And then we also can use pH test to evaluate the chemical load and HPLC for non-volatile organic pollutants. And then for the soil samples, we can use the gas chromatography and also the atomic absorption spectroscopy.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. Okay, next. I am going to assign each of you task. So the first task is, can someone do the research pollutant effects and sources?
I would like to volunteer to handle the research on the toxic effects of the chemicals involved. I have some background in environmental science and toxicology, so I think I can contribute effectively in understanding how these substances impact health and the ecosystem.
Okay, thank you, Dia. So I will assign this task for you. And then next task is, which one of you can simulate sample prep and do analysis method?
Me. I can do the those things because I'm the analytical chemist for this project. So my role is to simulate how we can detect the key pollutants from the Sungai Kim Kim incident using the right lab techniques. As I said before, for air samples, we'll focus on volatile organic compounds like benzene and toluene. So we can use the gas chromatography, which is ideal for volatile organic compounds. And then for the water samples, we'll use AAS as to detect any toxic metals or acidic compounds possibly present in the river.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. So the next task is, can someone click the data?
I think I can do that task because I'm the data analyst and I'm gonna collect all the data that have been occur for this task.
Okay, thank you, Amalin. So I will assign this task for you. And then the last task is for interviewing and reporting. Can someone do that?
Yes. Thank you, our lab leader Dina. I accept the role of reporter for our project on the environmental and monitoring of Sungai Kim Kim. So as a reporter, I'll be in charge of gathering insights and helping to document the human impact of this incident. So for our second meeting, I simulate interviewing a victim affected by the toxic waste pollution to better understand how the incident actually impact the people on the ground, physically, emotionally, and environmentally.
Okay, thank you, Ifa to Isa. So since I have already divided the task for each one of you, so this is the end of our meeting. I believe everyone can give a full cooperation based on the role I give. And then we can actually finalize our findings on this incident in our next meeting. So thank you all for today and see you in the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, team.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Welcome to our second meeting. And I believe everyone has done an amazing job gathering their parts of the findings from the site visit. So in this meeting, I hope we can identify the pollutants, whether they exceeded safety limits, and what those results mean in the public health context from our findings in the site visit. And at the core of this work is analytical chemistry. If I want to remind you all, the tool, analytical chemistry is the tools and techniques that allow us to detect, measure, and respond to dangerous substances. Our goal today is to show not just the data, but the bigger picture, which is science, when applied responsibly, can help prevent environmental tragedies like Sungai Kim Kim from happening again. So let's start the presentation of the findings.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm the analytical chemist for this project. So my role is to simulate how we can detect the key pollutants from the Sungai Kim Kim incident using the right lab techniques. So the analytical method that we use for the air sample is gas chromatography, as the target pollutants is for the volatile organic compounds. The reason is that gas chromatography is suitable because we want to detect the sensitive, because it is sensitive to volatile organic compounds. And then for the water sample, which is the target pollutants is for metal or acids, we use the atomic absorption spectroscopy because it is accurate for detecting metals. And for water sample, we use HPLC to further analyze what we got. Okay. Next slide, please. So from this graph, we can see that the volatile organic compounds levels that detected near Sungai Kim Kim on March 2019. So the yellow one is the measured and the orange one is the safety limit of the organic compounds. So for the three main organic compounds, which is acrylonitrile, acrolein, and benzene, we can see that for acrylonitrile, it exceeded way too much from the safety limit, same as acrolein and benzene. So which mean this mean that it is very considered hazardous, and my other teammates will explain how this can affect our human body. That's all
Okay,
from me.
Okay, hi guys. So I had done my research on the toxic effects of the chemicals involved in this incident. As you all know, this incident is caused by the illegal dumping of industrial chemical waste, which released a mixture of toxic substances into the river, leading to widespread exposure. Among the chemicals involved was acrolein, which are commonly used in herbicides and plastic manufacturing, which causes serious irritation to the eyes, skin, and respiratory tract. This substance is also extremely toxic to aquatic life. Next is acrylonitrile, which are used in the production of synthetic rubber and plastics. It is particularly dangerous as it can release hydrogen cyanide when burned. That can lead to fatal risk even at low levels. It also can bioaccumulate in ecosystems, affecting both wildlife and water quality. For limonene, a citrus-based solvent found in cleaning products and air fresheners, cause allergic skin reactions in some individuals and can be deadly to small aquatic organisms like fish and shrimp. Toluene, a common solvent in paints, adhesives, and industrial products, led to symptoms such as dizziness and fatigue. While its environmental impact includes oxygen depletion in water bodies, threatening aquatic life. Next, for the next slide, is hydrogen chloride. It is widely used in metal cleaning and fertilizer production, and causes respiratory distress and chemical burns. And its environmental presence led to acidification of water and damage to plants. Next is benzene, a chemical used to make detergents, plastics, and synthetic fibers, raise concern due to its cancer-causing properties and ability to contaminate air, soil, and groundwater. Similarly, xylene found in printing, leather, and rubber industries cause neurological symptoms and polluted both air and water. Lastly is methane, a natural gas that can be released from industrial waste and decomposition, was detected at increased levels, posing a suffocation risk in enclosed spaces and contributing to climate change as a potent greenhouse gas. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dia. So next.
Alright, so hi everyone. I'm the reporter for this incident that happened at Sungai Kim Kim. So we talk about effects of chemical tragedy at Sungai Kim Kim physically, environmentally, and also mentally. Alright, so next. Alright, so I spoke to several victims, and one student said, I suddenly felt dizzy and couldn't breathe. My friends started collapsing around me. So I also asked the doctors that, and the doctors confirmed that symptoms will include shortness of breath, vomiting, and eye irritation. And at least one student has been sent to the ICU. And the health officer also said that they are still evaluating the long-term health impact. So next is environmental. No. Next. Yes. So next is environmental impact. So visiting the river the other day, I observed that the water is so murky and the dead fish is floating, as you can see in the picture, and a strong nauseating smell that stings the eye. Until that, the officers there need to wear a complete PPE to avoid themselves being impacted by the chemicals. So, and the environmental officers say that the polluting likely include VOCs such as benzene, toluene, and xylene. All these chemicals are extremely dangerous chemicals. And I got the information that cleanup is underway, but officials say it could take weeks or even months to restore the area. All right, so lastly is mental and social effects. Uh, According to all the interview that I did with all the victims, the emotional toll on the community is very heavy because I interviewed parents who broke down in tears, not knowing what happened to their children during the incident happened. And some students are now refusing to return to school out of fear because they just undergo a lot of trauma when this incident happened. And also, uh, one teacher told us that they never trained for this. They were evacuating children while choking themselves. So anger is rising and locals are demanding accountability. Three suspects have been detained, but including individual linked to chemical companies. But many residents ask, will they really be punished? Because there's a growing fear that justice may not be served. And yeah, that's all I get from the insight from what happened there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ifatu Izzah. Okay, next.
So for this case study, what happened to the Sungai Kim Kim in the Pasir Gudang during the 2019. So basically, this Sungai Kim Kim is near with the industrial area where the heavy industry operated, such as the shipbuilding, petrochemicals manufacturing, and other logistics. It was reported that more than 2,500 factories sited in this area, and 250 of them are chemical-based industry. So for this incident of the toxic chemical pollution in the Pasir Gudang, it has affected more than 5,000 people, mainly for the children during at the school with their respiratory system, such as the breathing difficulties, nausea, and vomiting after they breathe in these poisonous gases. For this industrial toxic chemical can pollute the environment and also harmful to the human health, especially to the vulnerable groups such as children, elderly, and the pregnant mother. As we can find, basically, the methane and the benzene was dumped in the river, and it's found that total 346 ton of the metric of the chemical waste have been cleaned up along the 1.5 kilometer river. This incident, which is initially thought have been just a case of the industrial waste disposal, now has been escalated into the serious air pollution problem, which is lead to the 111 school and 92 kindergarten and also the childcare center have been closed, and 12 individuals were admitted to the ICU out of the 5,848 people who have been received treatment in the hospital. Because why is it? Because for this toxic pollutant has affected the respiratory system due to the inhaling air that contain the toxic chemical and the neurotoxin.
Thank you, Amalin. Thank you all for your findings. So from your findings, I believe I can recommend a few things to prevent the same incident from happen in the future. So first is implement yearly warning system. So I suppose we can tell the industry to install real-time air and water quality monitoring stations along Sungai Kim Kim. And next is to strengthen waste management policies, which can be done by government to introduce heavier penalties for illegal dumping. And then lastly is regular environmental audits. So I suppose government can conduct scheduled audits for nearby industries to ensure compliance with safety standards. So in conclusion, from your findings, I can conclude that the simulated detection of pollutants in Sungai Kim Kim highlights the critical role of analytical chemistry in identifying and quantifying environmental hazards. Through techniques such as gas chromatography and atomic absorption spectroscopy and also HPLC, it becomes possible to detect harmful substances like VOCs and heavy metals even at trace levels. So, from your findings, I can indicate that pollutant levels exceeded safety limits, which poses serious health risks such as respiratory issue and also mental health effects for citizens. The analysis suggests that improper waste disposal is a major contributor to the contamination. And also from this project, we can underscore the importance of yearly monitoring, strict regulations, and public engagement in preventing environmental disasters. It also demonstrates how analytical chemistry not only aids in pollutants detection but plays a vital role in protecting public health and ecological balance. So, I think that's all for our meeting. Thank you all for your findings, and um, I hope we can prevent the same incident from happen in the future.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Oh,